What up, guys? I'm not dead. Podcast number, what is this? 87. It has been a fuck long time, but we got some people back who I haven't actually talked to in for fuck ever either. We got WaifuWars. What's up, dude?
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm always glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Billy.
Absolutely. Dude, it has been so long. And the legend himself, ErenValue.
Yeah, get your stromboli.
Stromboli. What the fuck?
God, I missed saying that line. I've been saying it in such a long time. But,
I don't even... is that a reference? I feel like that's a reference or something. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, fun fact. I actually got that from Video Game Donkey. I kid you not. Like, I just watched the video. He literally said, "Get your stromboli." I was like, I'm gonna start saying this.
Alrighty then. Shout outs to Side for Zero. He wanted to get in as well, but he was having some mic issues and whatnot as far as sound quality. But we're gonna try to get him back in another one. Thank you anyway for trying to be on, dude. But shout outs to you real quick. So yeah, I have started a new trucking job. No, that was not fucking job. A trucking, driving an 18-wheeler, and my schedule is just weird. But I'm about to be going back out on the road at some point here, and wanted to go ahead and get a recording in and be able to post something up before I head out. And just it's also just been forever. I really wanted to record something. Whereas we went from recording and posting a podcast every fucking week to it's been a month. So yeah, that is reasons for that. But I am back. I have money again. It feels so good to have money again. Oh my god.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that feelings.
Dude, I it's been a year since I left my last job, and I just am now starting this as far as this new job. It is just anyway. So
now you can get a playset of SSP Yukinas.
I know if I just work for the next 2 years to be able to pay off the debt, For fuck's sake. No, that is just... But speaking of, I've been getting into... With new funds, I've been getting into the new Bang Dream set, messing around with that. I have 4 new fucking decks I'm working on. It is so cool. But... Today, not going over a particular set discussion like I realize most of my videos are. Just kind of open discussion today. Good couple things we wanted to go over. Obviously bring opinions and trigger people because we like to watch the community just suffer. Anyway, we're horrible. So obviously JP is getting a couple things coming up here pretty soon. Actually, I think this week, the 14th, they're getting 2 new Trout Pluses for Review Starlight and SAO, the Gun Gale Alternative. Both Trout Pluses, so I'm going to be looking over at those some point because I like to see the shenanigans in there. Darling and the Franks getting their booster pack. They've had a Trout Plus for a bit. The 21st of September, so that's another 2 weeks from now, or so, or another week after this. Yeah, some bullshit. I can math. And then in October, the only other thing that they have scheduled to come out is the Steins Gate Trout Plus and booster pack. This is actually interesting because Steins Gate's is one of those animes that's been out for a long while, so I'm glad to see it get something. There was what else that they just recently gotten? Summer Pockets. I guess that's based off a visual novel.
Yes, it's a key visual novel that came out this year.
Sure. They already got No Game No Life, ReZero 2. This was back in July and August. So,
yeah.
But because we have No Game No Life confirmed, that's something theoretically English is getting. So we'll go over to the English side real quick. And this is probably our main focus today is a lot of the stuff we're going to get for this and how it's going to impact Fall Fest. Obviously, we're not getting anything this month for September in English. We got Bang Dream, and that is going rampant. So, but it's also just really cool to see all the different stuff that can be made from that. In October, we're getting Apocrypha, the booster pack and trial deck plus. I definitely want that set. The European fleet finally got fucking confirmed, even though it's been out in JP for a hot minute.
Yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the fuck. It finally, but here's the weird thing. The release date for this got confirmed so shortly after it that it got announced that I'm fairly certain there's going to be a delay on this shit. Like, and that's just kind of it's just kind of Bushi's track record with Kantai in general. They keep seeming to have issues, but whatever.
I don't want to I kind of want to call them and be like, hey, Volume 4-1.
Exactly. There you go. There have been more ships since then, so
yes, that's true.
And a lot of new remodels for stuff. So I can easily see them, having the material for it. Yes. Or like another Abyssal set or some BS. I don't know.
I want an SSP Iowa.
SSP.
I want my Nagato Kaini. That's all I want. I want a good Nagato card for once.
I was gonna say, I think
and
Phil.
Also maybe like Summer Tenryu for flavor.
Oh, true, because Tenryu awesome. We're getting Konosuba Set 2 in November, theoretically. These are all theoretical things. If it gets changed later, don't sue me.
Just add in an extra month or two.
Exactly.
English works.
You're right. ReZero the week of Christmas, so yeah. Happy Christmas to me. And my wallet dying. So, but they're getting Trial Deck Plus and Booster Pack, and confirmed but no sales date yet is once again No Game No Life, and a TCG exclusive being Card Captor Sakura based off the new season, which is a continuation of the original or something. I haven't watched it yet. I saw like part of the first episode and that was it. So I don't actually know what all happens in it, but it looks pretty. Put it that way.
Man, I haven't seen like the original in such a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even remember like where it was even like channel wise. I don't even remember what it was like even on.
It was on Kids WB. Like,
oh, that's
long,
right.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god,
time.
I feel old now.
I know when they still fucking showed cartoons on Saturday mornings and not whatever the fuck else they got now. Anyway, our childhoods. Anyway, so let's see. So obviously a lot of this, Bang Dream alone has already seen just a lot of representation, not just because idols and Yukina SSPs, but just the plethora of stuff that can be made from it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just gonna say this right now. Like,
go for it.
I am not a big idols fan, but like legit. All seriousness, like Bang Dream is like the only idol deck that I actually like respect and I actually kind of like no joke, like I don't care for well I'll say this. I don't care for Idol Masters too much. I'm not a fan, but like I will admit their dojins are like hot, like they're super hot fire, bro. Like their dojins are amazing. I'll give them that.
They are plentiful.
And then Love Live's just a mistake. Like Love Live, no, like.
I'm waiting for the message from Kyle because he's just triggered right now and he doesn't know why. So he's like, I feel like I need to talk to somebody. He's just gonna like bust in on the call.
Idols, like dojins, like they're amazing. Like idol dojins, like yo, like I'm all for that. Like they're great. But like everything else, like nah. Like but Bang Dream is like that I'm okay with. I'm like cool with Bang Dream. Like I think they're awesome.
I got you. I agree. It's a very cool set. But upcoming stuff, how we potentially feel that how I feel that it's going to affect like Fall Fest over time leading up to Worlds, because nothing's been confirmed for past December, which Worlds will be in January. So my guess for that is we're not going to be getting jack shit in January. So yeah, I don't know. Before we get into like Fall Fest expectations, obviously the first one that like big one I know that we're supposed to have. There's other ones that's going to happen, but Atlanta Regionals is coming up really soon. When is that supposed to occur, Bentley?
It's in the first Saturday of October.
First Saturday of October. So
I think that's the 6th.
The 6th. So we won't have Apocrypha just yet for that. Not saying that Apocrypha is really going to affect the meta too terribly much, but anyway, so that'll be really close behind. But so Atlanta regionals. Obviously. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No. I was just thinking. Sorry.
You're cool, dude. I thought you were like, I have a point for this, but by all means, let's get into that because obviously starting up Fall Fest, we did not have Bang Dream at the end of Spring Fest. So, what do y'all feel are going to be the top competitors, or maybe highest representation? What's y'all's thoughts on this as far as what sets are we going to see? I obviously think AOT's probably going to be up there, probably one of the biggest ones.
For sure.
So, I mean, it's just it's the thing of so many new sets you have to compare to. How does it stack up against AOT? Is this like so much of what people ask?
Yeah, that's like the standard now for like English decks. Well, when it comes to deck building for English. It's like, how does it interact against Eren, or how do you play against Mikasa?
Exactly, but so
against my boy Eren.
Exactly, the ErenValue, absolutely.
I think Bang Dream is probably the top. I think it's the biggest top 2 decks coming for Atlanta is AOT versus Bang Dream, because like both of those decks are like they're pretty head to head with each other, and like it can go either way from like.
They're gonna say head to toe.
It's pretty much who can like get set up.
Understandable. All right. What else was there?
Also, I think Gurren Lagann is probably gonna be like represented a lot.
I know we're gonna have
Lagann, don't lose your way, bro. Like,
nah, bro.
I want Gurren Lagann. I want Gurren Lagann to be up there.
Oh my god.
Make sure your drills pierce the heavens.
So many innuendos. So many innuendos back then. We're going to have a special segment where Frank gives us his opinion on Gurren Lagann then and now. That is coming up soon at the top of the hour. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think, honestly, the only reason why I don't really see Love Live Sunshine a lot, I think, in these regionals is because it's so damn expensive.
Yes, no, like, I know it's an
like
extra
hit or
booster.
miss.
Yeah. Well, the extra booster, like, even though the overall, like, box for an extra booster is cheaper, it's got a fewer number of packs, and just the pull rates on stuff seem to be crazy. Personal opinion. I don't know if it affects everyone, but I honestly thought it was going to be like a bigger thing, like than as far as like more hype than what it is. Like, obviously it's a big thing, sure, but I feel I expected to hear more about it. Honestly, you hear people bitching, but that's whatever.
And it's also like a lot of the stuff from set 1 is still like hard to get, like the runners and the 1-0 Mari, like
Absolutely.
basically the double R's from the first set are hard to get.
Yeah, any copies of that stuff that I had, as far as like posted on the TCG Player Store, that shit sold fucking quick when that set 2 got announced. So, but since it doesn't have we don't have any restrictions in English. Knock on wood. That's whatever. Since we don't have a ban list, and the Love Live has like 3 different cards you can pick one of, as far as like from the JP ban list, and we're unrestricted completely, I'm surprised that isn't running more. Like, as far as like that. But yeah, prices are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So even for like the non-shinies and shit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. That explains why Love Live is a mistake, you know.
Going back to Frank's thing of that, just Bang Dream, not Love Live. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that call from Kyle. Just saying. Anyway. Obviously.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle and Jenna are rolling in their grave, and Jimmy.
Jenna's still alive. Like.
Jimmy's just like, Haneo did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. I just love Jimmy. But obviously, also for anyone who isn't familiar with them, one, you've been under a rock. But anyway, the bigger setups for each of these. AOT, if you don't know, basically the yellow-red build between mostly yellow, sometimes red setup. I've seen a couple. You said there was some people trying to do like the Eren Titan version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically just almost like pure. It's almost essentially just pure yellow, and you're basically playing the the 3/2 Crimson fighting spirit Eren,
Yeah.
and he's basically the one that summons the level 0 Titans in Volume 2.
Yeah. He's like he basically pulls like an Anastasia from Idolmaster. Kind of.
That's correct.
So.
Yeah.
But it like pulls it from memory. Yeah, I thought that. So if you don't get that reversed early on, it's like okay.
Well, actually, it's just on attack.
Yeah, it's not
so
on.
It's like pay one.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was like, wait.
But the way
yeah.
You have to
like
for like the Titan.
Yeah.
You have to pay one and like send it to memory.
Yeah.
But you get to salvage the 3/2 Eren.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For Bang Dream, it's obviously primarily anything with the Yukina setup, the birdcage diva. Like,
yeah. I've seen some people try to test out the Mocha, the 3/2 Mocha, because it's like non-interactive as well.
But that looks so cool. Like as far as like a setup for that, I really like the Mocha setup.
Essentially, you get to like try to go for cleaner kills
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and you get to also kind of increase your chance of possibly canceling after you finish your turn. But I think one of the issues is it's just not as scary compared to Yukina, because Yukina's damage numbers is like so. It's very nice, like for burn 2 at that late game.
Absolutely.
On top of like Musashi's or like Kasumi, like top check burns. So.
Absolutely. With that type of stuff, I can understand where that's a much scarier thing. But I do like the Mocha because just being able to potentially go, oh, there's some nice climaxes you're trying to stack right there, bitch. Get the fuck out. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know Bang Dream has like so many different setups that you can do for stuff. It's just, I like the variety of the set. But
honestly, like the Hello Happy World is not that bad either.
It looks awesome. Shoot, the fact that you like, if you try doing that, you got like more Musashis you try to run and whatnot, but that's whatever.
Or then also there's the what's it called, the standby build, because with the new set you can cheat in like the Arisa. Yeah, the revenge burn, and then also like,
that shit's fun.
She heals, and also you can do like the -2 soul combo.
Absolutely.
I think that's the thing with like Bang Dream is like there's so many deck builds. Like that's why I don't think there's like a true definitive meta build, because like it's really hard to counter against Bang Dream when like you like everyone's playing different builds and stuff like that. Especially with like the recent regional that the listing whatever. Someone like ran something that's like completely different than what people would expect.
Absolutely. Let's see the other two. The Gurren Lagann. Obviously, we're talking about the anti-spiral build. Ha Kappa. What I assume more people are going with the combined Gurren Lagann setup from the trial deck, instead of the whole discombine thing. Like, I've seen some people talk about both, but it seems like more people are leaning more towards the trial deck. And I like that more myself, even though I haven't tried the discombine yet. I just don't have all the stuff for it. Like, I still want to try it, but I fucking love the trial deck one.
Yeah, both builds are pretty good. Like, the Tekken Toppa Gurren Lagann card, that whole
the whole like 5 attacks of just keep throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, like the whole discombine thing is really cool. And as far as like damage output goes, it's pretty neat, and like it's also really good due to the fact that since it's like the only card that's like on the board, you don't really have to worry about like money counters or rest counters, because that's like the only card you have, and like you can like bait them out, and you can even still resolve the effect even when you get reversed. Because you can like attack, still lose combat, and then still pay the cost, and then just switch out to the next marker basically.
Absolutely.
So the strongest asset that deck has is consistency, because that deck like you like
either version.
Like, basically that deck sets up for level 3 so fast that it's just you build up resources very quickly, and building up stock is very easy. And you have all the tools you need necessary to get to basically consistently get the Tekken Toppa 5 attack combo. Like, you can get it like every game no matter what. Like, you should not be able to like miss out on that unless you just have a bad day. But likely than not, like, you were able to get that every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And its main weakness though is the fact that since it's basically just a big giant marker deck. So while yes you have consistency, you have strong you have strong salvage options, but its main thing is that because you're playing a bunch of marker cards, you're not doing anything that's like during like level 1 and 2. You're not doing anything that's too extravagant. You're not doing anything that's very oppressive. It's just mainly just you're playing a card. You're just playing a card on the board, and then you're just like, okay, here's a marker, and that's it, and you just sit on it. Yeah, it's nothing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, no one wants to pay $20 for a brainstorm.
Yeah, fucking Simon.
Like average.
It's all good.
Yeah. Whereas the other build, because personally, me, I play the Kamina Bros red, yellow, green build.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's the most fun deck because there's a lot of different options and variety of plays you can do with that deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally play the TD Gurren Lagann because that card's really good.
It's so good.
Yeah, the fact that it has the draw to pitch one on top of the reverse burn one is just very versatile and very strong. Overall.
Absolutely.
And then not only that, like when it's also the nuts when you have that card with the Yoko. It's just insane. Like it makes the card even much better on the board at level 3.
Absolutely. I'm still picking up copies. But let's see. Speaking of
rip the Beastman deck because like literally almost like nobody plays the deck even though it's a thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely a thing. Like another deck I'm working towards, but just messing around with it. Speaking of really expensive ass brainstormers, what the fuck is the damn Remy from Bang Dream?
Yeah,
like it's a salvage
$20.
Like what the fuck?
As well. And I think she's arguably like the second effect that she has is also just at the beginning of your climax phase gives someone 500 power. Like it's not even like a real assist. Like the 500 powers is whatever.
Like,
but like
I know
it's pretty much Bang Dream's only like best, only like the really good brainstormer.
Yeah.
That's, like generic, because it's not like trait restricted when you salvage with it when you use its brainstorm.
Absolutely. Like, I know first people were like the Rinko from the Rosalia, or the blue double rare Rinko from Rosalia was like, oh, this is the one to go to, and then everyone's like, you only mill 3. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then like you don't get multiple pluses if you hit more than one climax.
Yeah, that's to me that's okay. Personally, I don't care, but I do understand that a lot of the other Bang Dream brainstormers are like you said, either trait restrictive or the fucking the pastel palettes one is like you mill equal to the number of colors that you have, but if you have like all 4 colors, you mill 5 and then search 1 for each. I thought that was cool, but that only works really for that deck. See, the other good one though is there's an Arisa. Her first effect is subpar. Like you said, like not really good of a like assist effect. It's got like you mill the top card of the deck or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But it's the only other like kind of generic one because you pay 1, tap 2, or rest 2. Sorry, magic terms, whatever. I don't even play MTG anymore. Mill 4 and then search for every. So that you have at least a generic searcher, and that's so much cheaper than that Remy. I thought was just crazy. I just guess people prefer to salvage if you're doing the whole Kasumi event engine, but that's whatever. Anyway, as far as rounding out these, also the Love Live Sunshine setup is based off like most of the stuff from the extra booster with Mirai Ticket. There's basically a really cheap way to play 2 level 3s at level 2 combo. I don't even remember the whole combo myself, but anyway.
The double early play.
It's pretty cool. So other ones obviously to look out for as far as like Atlanta regionals. I always feel, even though I know it gets a lot of flack, I always feel SAO is going to be a big like competitor because Zek Yuki is a thing. I just feel that it like so much of the other stuff is going to see more play.
Yeah. And also SAO is just always is like it's always been a popular set since the beginning, and it's also you know how the anime is, it's still kind of retains its popularity. And it's just like it's always been a good deck. Like it's always been a deck that never has bad cards.
Yeah,
The
it's
deck
a pretty
almost,
balanced set.
it's almost like AOT where it's like the deck almost like never bricks. Like you never draw bad cards in the deck.
Or even if you
But,
do, there's so many ways of just hand filtering and getting around it. It doesn't fucking matter in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With
Speaking of,
we're also.
sorry.
Oh, you're fine, dude. Just one quick question, real quick. With the Gungale set, I can only assume we're gonna eventually get it. You think that's gonna be allowed to be mixed with current SAO stuff, or is that gonna be its own entity?
I think it's its
Unfortunately,
own.
no.
Yeah.
Thing?
Yeah, it's its own entity.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right. Sorry, Frank. You were saying?
Yeah. Also a little like minor shout out to SAO like rep Xenon Blue Green, because I actually
know, man.
recently sold it to get the Yoko SP. I have officially retired from SAO, my very first deck when I started Weiss Schwarz.
Oh.
But let us have a moment of silence for it. Okay,
Yeah.
we're done. Okay. So, but
I'm so glad when I retired Persona 4 as my first deck, like, bye, bitch.
yeah.
that series is so, like, especially in
Dude.
English, it's like, oh my gosh.
I understand. As far as
Persona 3 is better.
get that wait till we get that one card that like every time it dies your opponent has to discard a fucking card. No. I don't
Oh
know.
my
Some
gosh.
some shit like that. Anyway, so one other quick update, because Bingley told me this earlier. They changed up one thing for the regionals now, and that is instead of whereas before only first place got an invite to Worlds. First, second, and third get invites, but only first gets the travel and expenses paid for to be able to go and everything, the lodging
awesome.
and all that. So,
Yeah.
second and third you can go. You just got to pay for all your shit.
Yeah.
So I think there's still gonna be a lot of people just be like, I got the invite. That's all I want. We good.
I mean, it's kind of nice that they're trying to increase attendance. I mean, that's kind of good.
Mhm. And from what
I mean,
yeah.
because like,
Mhm.
because I mean, like the fact that like you have to like grind just to get to first place to even go to Japan is like it's even like already like
Mhm.
it's already like steep as hell. So just like being able to have like a chance getting to like top 3 to be able to go to Japan, have that opportunity
Mhm.
available is still pretty nice.
Absolutely.
I kind of wish what they should have done is like, first, like obviously gets the whole thing paid, like the ticket and the hotel. But I think for second they should have like at least paid for like the hotel, but like they have to pay for their own ticket to like get there.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I can see that being fair. Of hey, we'll still get your lodging, but you just have to be able to let us know that you can fly there or something.
Yeah, and then like third place would have to pay for both if they
Yeah.
wanted to go.
I mean, also with Japan, I don't know if you can just straight like reserve a hotel using like dollars
Yeah,
and not
that's
without having to convert the
Yeah,
dollars.
that's
yen.
true as well.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so I say the typical the typical person might not know how to do that. Most weeaboos probably do. Anyway, I don't.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, since that's coming up, as far as that right around the corner, over the course of Fall Fest, leading up to Worlds, are any of the upcoming sets do y'all feel are going to be relevant at some point? Whether it's when this comes out, this is going to affect what starts topping. Between, let's see, what do we got? Apocrypha, the European fleet, so Kantai getting back in the game, maybe? We don't know.
I can see Kantai, yeah.
Konosuba.
Kantai, Konosuba, and then also ReZero.
ReZero's...
I don't.
I know ReZero's gonna like get played so hard, like
Yeah. See, I know that's going to sell, like, for a fact. It's just the fact of how late that it's scheduled to come out. Like, it's the week of Christmas, so it's going to...
Like, I think for the people that are going to Worlds, I feel like a lot of them will probably play ReZero because it's a very balanced set, but it's also really good at what it does.
it's basically SAO 2.0. It never has bad cards. They always show what they need.
Yeah,
There
it
you
has
go.
like Amelia, Ram.
Yeah.
That's all you need, right? No, sorry.
I I'm not looking forward to Crush. I hate that card.
There you go.
I can already tell Rem's gonna be like a $35 or $40 double R, and like her SP is gonna be $250.
So I was gonna say,
Yeah,
do you think her SPs are gonna reach like retarded Yukina prices? BS.
No, I'd hope not.
I hope not either. But oh my goodness.
I think it'll probably be like a $250 or like $200 at least SP.
Easily. Oh my goodness. I've heard people talk about the European fleet actually. Once again, I don't know if this is people just trolling or if this is just people hoping for the best, but trying to say that once the European fleet for Kantai comes in, it'll actually be semi-relevant again as far as like as a top tier set. I don't know how much of this is true. I've looked into some of it, but I don't know. I'm probably missing something.
I think, well, like with the third set, it added definitely more utility and like a better level 1 game and like definitely a better level 3 game. So that is very important. So and there also there's no ban list for English. So I think, and it still has like the good cards like Akatsuki and Compass and Azuma. So I think it will definitely see some play, like if anything, because like people, especially like if, for example, if like I'm like if I'm Gurren Lagann or whatever, I'm playing like any of like, because like what Frank and I were discussing a bit earlier, like a lot like with the Gurren, like you're either running like gates or whatever, like the salvage trigger, or you're running like the level 1 TD combo as well.
Exactly.
Like anti-salvage is still kind of a thing. Like I don't know how big it'll be, but also anti-heal is still kind of important.
True.
Because a lot of decks still heal.
Because Kantai is the only one with anti-heal at this point that I know of.
And then
TOR,
Compass is pretty much like a 1 cost anti-damage. And then at worst it's a free. I mean, at worst it mills 2 cards from your deck.
Absolutely.
Or technically 3, but it goes back to 2.
So you're still 2 cards further down than you were before. So I understand where you're coming from. It and TOR are the only decks with anti-salvage as far as that. TOR is another one of those weird ones that I don't hear but so much.
I think with English right now, like there's obviously like the standout decks like AOT and like Bane Dream or Gurren Lagann, but I feel like this is a good time right now, like for like rogue decks to come back to like to I can't believe I'm saying this, but like Tuluvru can actually come back just because like obviously like, AOT is still its biggest like it's like AOT like has a strong favorite matchup against Tuluvru, but besides that, like Tuluvru, I can see it doing fine against like Persona 5 or like what's it called, Bane Dream as well, because Yukina isn't big on defense. So like your Mikanji will get like reverses easily and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And also,
and the fact that Yukina, the fact that Yukina's the Yukina Birdcage level 3 finisher shenanigans is on reverse. So, sure, obviously they don't have to pay the cost, but if you want to make certain that you don't want to get hit, Darkness Plan goes, stop your initial damage and you're not burning me. So... And
then also, with like the whole anti-damage thing, like Persona 5, like it's falling off the track a bit, but I feel like with Futaba, like, you know, if you're running the Futaba combo, like her basically, you get to stop Yukina entirely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Before they can even like trigger check, so that's very good. So I think Persona 5 might be coming back if like Bane Dream becomes like one of like the top, like the very top decks. But I think it's like a neck and neck right between AOT and Bane Dream, just because they're both like pretty consistent and good at what they do.
Yep.
Agreed. So it will definitely be interesting to see what all starts to resurface in that regard. Yes. So I do agree with that. Personally, like, as much as I do love messing around with like AOT and whatnot, I do want to see more stuff come up that can play against it. Because
Yes.
we were saying also before, I don't know if we actually said it in the podcast or if we were just talking before, so much stuff that comes out gets compared to AOT as far as like new stuff that gets announced, new cards of the day. That's right, because you're saying like a lot of people don't seem to bitch as much now about like cards of the day or whatever. Where so much stuff is like comparing, you have to compare it to how does this stack up to ErenValue? How does this stack up to the shenanigans that it can pull, and how can it play around that? And that's so much of the standard that gets set for. I like to see new stuff come up that can compete against it. So,
yeah. You gotta respect the Omni boy.
There you go.
But yeah, no, like I guess like memes aside though, yeah, as much as I love AOT, like having diverse representation is always good. Like it's never good to have a one deck format, especially
Absolutely.
like, if we also kind of like kind of a little bit sidetracking a little bit, like if we look at like Yu-Gi-Oh like last year, when spirals were like a huge thing, when that was like almost a one deck format, like.
Well, dude, I played during like the days of like Necroz, between Necroz and BA. For anyone who doesn't want to deal with that shit, as far as like anybody who's like, what the fuck are they talking about? Don't worry about it. You're better off not knowing. Just know that Yu-Gi-Oh has had its times where there are just single 1 to 2 deck formats, and if you're not playing one of those 2 decks, you're fucked. Straight up. So.
But good thing, fortunately though, Weiss, it doesn't have that kind of severity, that level of severity. But obviously, as more sets come out, players will have more options to be able to play different sets and compete and have a chance to be able to make that top cut. And honestly, I think probably the best way to fix the issue with with AOT being pretty much one of the top dogs is the fact that they would have to make more climax combos that are a little less interactive and a little bit more like on attack. On attack, maybe like pay like some sort of like cost, and then act and then be able to resolve like your plussing effect, being able to either search or salvage or something.
Yeah, like one of the videos I actually have recorded is like going over the my testing of the Bang Dream Trial Deck Plus with the new Yukino level 1 combo in that. It doesn't care if it reverses or not. And that's kind of what the setup is if you have an on-reverse combo, AOT's like, hey, let me eat it up type thing. Let me, that'd be a shame if someone just decided to scoop out the way. Or whatever. So exactly, it's a lot of those that more like Zek and Yuki, and anyone who's familiar with that, where because she's on attack and stuff like that. Between the Yukina, where it's just just attacking, the Zek and Yuki, where it's pay a cost on attack, stuff like that. I agree that more stuff needs to be like that in general. So yeah. So
or even maybe like not saying like every set should have it, but like maybe kind of like how SEO took the route of being basically a standby trigger deck, where if you hit a standby trigger or play a standby climax, that you're able to summon a character out of the waiting room. Yeah. Or even being able to early play higher level characters out on the board early. Even like giving some sets standby triggers allows more decks or sets to be able to reallocate resources easier, and not having to solely rely on climax combos to then suffer a huge neg from attacking Eren, and then they can't recover and then they auto lose. Oh yeah. So like having something to that extent to be able to maintain resources while they're facing an oppressive deck like AOT, to be able to keep going and be able to build up to level 3 and be able to at least have a solid end game.
I think with like Mikasa and then also like Yukina, I think it like with those like type of scary level 3s, I also think it's like it helps players become better by like learning to actually like how to play around it, or like
Mhm.
how to just like prepare for it, especially like whatever set you're playing, whatever. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely. Like, I understand where you're coming from on that as well. With a lot of that is, how do I put it? Well, with like the level 3 Mikasa, I feel people do need to think more because there are so many layers to it. Because
Yes.
you can use her without the climax combo and still do on reverse burn. But if you do have the climax combo with that, you can still do the on attack burn and not even have to worry about paying on reverse if you don't have the cost for it or whatever. There's just so many layers to that where it's
Yeah, and the damage number you can
yeah.
manipulate it since it's on a
absolutely
split 2K.
If you have the stock for that shit, that's 9 instances of damage if you are able to reverse all of your opponent's characters. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So
And if they have like the Armin assist too, then it's
Uh-huh.
like it's pretty. It makes Mikasa non-interactive too.
absolutely, it's just you can't hexproof, bitch. You can't do shit. You know, stuff like that. And unlike where the Yukina is just not to try to belittle it in any way, shape, or form because it's it's very scary if you're on the receiving end of this shit. But
Yeah,
all
that's
you
the
do
thing with
is
Yukina.
all it is
Yeah, like-
reverse, pay a cost, done.
Yeah, and her cost is steep too. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't- it's very hard to get like multiples off unless you're
Mhm.
having like a good game.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Mhm.
Also, I pray that it doesn't happen anytime soon. But like one thing that would really hugely impact English meta is if they release something like Kimono Friends and they like
Oh my
start
God.
adding
Dude,
and they start
Jimmy
adding
would-
anti-burn.
Oh my god,
Oh
Jimmy
my
would just
God.
be so ecstatic. Oh my
I
god.
will not
least,
be ready for
uh,
that.
At least Bang Dream will get away with it because Yukina's burned too.
True, because the anti burn stuff from Kimono Friends is if it's just doing 1 damage.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Probably people will play more Senon or something.
Now see, that would hurt Mikasa because hers are just instances of burn 1.
Yeah, it completely negates Mikasa.
So, because we were talking about that a while back, where it just makes Yami from TLR cry.
Yeah. I guess in that case, if Kimono Friends ever came out in English, I guess that's why people would play like the Eren combo, I guess, or the Levi, or like the clock kick, or I don't know. Something that's not
Yeah,
Mikasa.
that's still a thing. The oh, what was it?
But I mean, at that point, we'll have Volume 3 at that point.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, 3 Kenny.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's we could easily continue talking about this, and I know that we're still going to for a bit. Just a quick little change of pace for a second while we gather our thoughts. Another thing that happened recently also was the new confirmations to the JP ban list. Sadly, one of those that got hit was a card that we didn't even get in English for Bang Dream, which was a promo, level 0 promo of a Kasumi from the second Bang Dream. It was a promo, correct? Like I'm not remembering this
Yes.
wrong, but this thing,
Yes.
yeah, this thing basically
Yes.
set up for the Happy Christmas Kasumi combo, where it like grabbed you the event, it grabbed you the level 1 to be able to do all the
Yes.
shenanigans with.
Yes.
And it just got straight up banned. Correct?
It got limited to 1.
Just one
So it's like
copy.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Just one copy. Okay, cool. Sorry.
So yeah, you could still run it, but then like you pretty much have to run like utility level 0s at like the drop searcher, or
Gotcha.
like to like search it out every game.
Yeah. So it's not impossible, but it's still that's whatever.
It definitely hurts the consistency, like
Yeah.
like how broken it was.
Yeah. And we just straight up did not get it. Like,
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get it now, especially since it's on
Yeah.
the list.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think Bushir wants us to like blow up.
Yeah.
I mean, they already saw the internet blow up when fucking Yukina SSPs are like the price of like a used car.
Yeah,
It's like, what the fuck?
fuck?
We're saying.
that's actually
Yeah.
kind of depressing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to seeing that for like MTG. I'm not used to seeing that for Weiss.
Yeah.
What else was
Like,
it? Uh-huh.
Would win one used car or one shiny card, one shiny piece of cardboard.
Sadly, the shiny piece of cardboard. Because people probably decided to sell it. Oh, that just reminded me of something else bad that happened in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm going to avoid that right now. The other change, you said there was a card taken off of the restriction from Shining Force? Not Shining Force.
Yes. Yes, it was. It's a 1/0 Suro.
Okay.
Pretty much why it was on the list was because it has an effect where, I think if you canceled or something, then you get to pay 2 or whatever, and then like heal 1. So what people would do is they would try to make the game go long by like trying to decide if they want to heal or not, and that's the reason only why it's on the list. It's because of like time.
Because they would try to
Like,
decide
people-
if they want to heal or not.
Yeah.
That is just so weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
mock what you
people-
said in any way, shape, or form. That just sounds weird.
Yeah, it's been on the list for a long time, and like
I gotcha.
Shining Force doesn't see play at
Okay.
all.
So that came off. And the Kasumi got added to a limit of 1. So that's the
Yes.
big changes as far as I understand. Frank said he had a rant, or I say rant, but said he wanted to discuss Gurren Lagann a bit more in depth, which I am perfectly okay with this because I fucking love the anime. So, we now turn over to Frank for his segment of Gurren Lagann, then and now. I don't know, I'm being fucking dramatic for it. You said you had opinions on this, as far as when it first came out versus, like, how people were actually saying, good stuff about it. Because at first people were like, oh, this is going to be shit.
Yeah.
So, but yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, please share your opinions and trigger people. I want
Alright.
people to just hate this. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay, alright, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, get ready for a history lesson. Alright, so yeah. So basically, once upon a time, back when leaks were. So basically, when leaks were coming out for Gurren Lagann, kind of like December, maybe like end of like November until like maybe like mid-January, when they were like leaking cards and showing
Yeah.
cards of the day of like what's gonna be in the set.
Yeah.
And then like I'll still never forget that like once they revealed the level 3 Simone Burn 4 card, like things just went off the rails so fast. Like there was just a huge firestorm of people just saying, "Oh, this card is just worth Xenon. This set's gonna be trash. They killed Gurren Lagann. I'm gonna cancel my pre-orders and stuff." And just like
Yeah.
it was just like it was a freaking mess. Let me tell you. And I'm just like, guys, like the card's fine. I mean, yeah, sure. Xenon is technically better because just attack, pay the cost and then burn one.
Agreed. Like,
pay 2, discard 1, then burn 4. But like, here's the thing though. It's like Gurren Lagann has the necessary resources and cards to be able to boost Simone, to be able to get the reverse effect, and then you have the Yoko hexproof assist or hexproof brainstorm to be exact, to be able to protect it from money counters and rest counters. So it's kind of like this. The deck has what it needs to be able to protect itself and be able to push for their end game. So it's like, so I was just like, you guys don't believe in the drill. Like you need to not lose your way and pierce the heavens. Like that's what real Gurren fans do.
I agree with this, and I just to reemphasize my point from earlier. I apologize. I will let you get right back to ranting in a moment. But once again, it's the whole thing of where people were saying, like, because it's on reverse for his effect, correct?
Yeah.
So it's once again the whole thing of so much of what people were doing was setting it to the standard of how does this stack up against AOT, and its vast hatred of on reverse effects, of just being able to deny that to you. So many people looked at that and went, oh, AOT fucks this over completely. There's no point in doing this. But once again, it's that whole where that had been the set standard. It's just I just re-emphasize that point where it just changes people's views on future sets completely, because if they feel, oh, this isn't going to do jack shit against what we feel is the top deck at the time, people are going to be like, what the fuck? But no, I agree. It's a completely fine set and can easily work around various things. So Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. I just wanted to reemphasize that point. Please carry on.
Mhm.
But don't lose your way. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Wrong set.
Yeah, and then even like on top of that, like even on a further note, like we even got technically like an Eren 2.0, just not as good in Gurren Lagann. We got a card that literally searches, and then is like, oh, you attacked me. Guess what? Go to memory. You don't get anything. You
There
just
you go.
sniped. It's like literally same function as Eren.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like they kind of threw us a bone here. We literally got almost an Eren clone in the Gurren Lagann set. Like.
Mhm.
It's pretty decent. Like it's pretty solid.
Yeah. The
But
difference
yeah.
being you can only do it like twice. As far as like the send to memory effect is only occurs twice, correct?
It's actually 3
Is
because
it 3?
it states 2 or more. So as long as the condition is that it's 2 cards, you can actually put a third one in there. And then once you reach the third card, then that last and final copy you're not able to put in the memory.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Was not certain on that.
Yeah. I guess then I guess it can't be as good as Eren because like I guess what also makes Eren kind of dumb is that the fact that you can just use him again
Over
the next
and
turn
over.
as a free attack. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds like
And
one of
he's
those.
a beater.
Sounds like one of those cheesy commercials. But wait, there's more.
Yeah. Fucking fuckboy Eren.
We see there is someone who does not believe in the ErenValue. No, it's
It's gonna
good.
involve the commune value now.
So true.
So, anyways, back to the history lesson, boys.
There you go.
But-
We get the
So-
slideshow
so
projector.
so then after that, and then not only that, and then I also saw like low key like comments, even like during like the Gurren Lagann leaks, that people were like, "Oh, this set doesn't have an Akatsuki card. Well, looks like this set is trash because now we don't have enough utility in this deck to be able to just get consistency." And then it's just like, but we got the Nia though, we got the Viral though. It's just like, bro, like look at all these good dank card values that we're getting. It's just like, bro, like
Yes.
how are you telling me that this set's gonna be terrible? It's just like you have disgraced Teen Gurren. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, so as the set comes out, you know, the Firestorm was still kind of lingering a little bit, and then you had people, you know, after like a few couple months during the summer, not during the summer, during the spring, and then you had some people, you know, memeing, saying stuff like, "Oh, this feels like more of a disappointment than Gurren Lagann," and that's saying something, and you know, comments like that to an extent.
Hmm.
And then so man, I gotta collect my thoughts.
You're fine, dude. It
anyways,
is the thing of it's a thing of hating to see how people were just automatically try to just throw that hate out, whether they feel that it's not good against a particular set, whether they feel that whether they don't like the anime or whatever, and they'll just automatically throw flames and hate it shit, and it's just like, fuck, yo, come on. Anyway, I vant for a bit. You better have your thoughts ready.
Yeah. So, and then as time went by, you know, the Firestorm pretty much has kind of died down a bit. And then once we got closer to the summer and got closer to the English release, then once we got to July, then all of a sudden, once we got the set, once it came out, then people surprisingly started praising the set.
Mhm.
And we're saying like this set's actually pretty good in English, and then here we are a couple months later. Here we got out of this firestorm of Gurren Lagann being trashed on and being considered a meme, and then here we are in English, people praising Gurren Lagann, saying it's a very solid set overall, and people actually having interest in getting it in English. And then you know, and then we get to a point where we have UA posting on the global group saying that Gurren Lagann is the second best set in the Weiss and Weiss Schwarz in English.
And then everyone's going, okay, bro, where's the Kappa? You know. But no.
But no, like Gurren Lagann has come quite a bit of an interesting way of being very hated and being considered a huge disappointment to then people I guess almost in a way, almost surprisingly revitalizing their interest in actually giving the set a chance in English.
Yeah.
And now people actually praise and enjoy the set now. People actually like the set. Like, it's basically become a 180 essentially.
Like, I had high hopes for it, and I'll straight up say it's one of my like favorite decks to mess with. It's fucking amazing. Like, I love it personally. I wanted it so much going into it. I am pulling people into this game because of this set. I have so many people that's just like, hey, literally when it got announced, one of the other guys at our card shop who he goes like he plays D&D and whatnot, and with his group and whatnot, and I knew he was a big anime fan. I just walk over to him. I said, "So, bruh, question: how big of a Gurren Lagann fan are you?" He's like, "Sir, we could talk about Gurren Lagann for hours. I love that series." And I'm like, "So when you're ready to start playing, Weiss?" He's like, "Don't you dare." I said, "Yeah, bruh, let's get a set. Don't you fucking dare." Because he's wanted to avoid getting into it, like just because he didn't want to spend the money. As far as like getting into Weiss, he's like, "Fuck, I'm about to get into Weiss Schwarz now," and I'm like, "Yeah, you are. We'll be waiting when you do." So, shit like that. More than just that extreme example, but no, absolutely, I love Gurren Lagann. The anime, the set, everything is fucking great. Anyway,
And
yeah.
And even like I guess before I end this little lesson here,
You're fine. We're getting close on time here.
Yeah. Even little shout out like to like the fusion mechanic to which Gurren Lagann basically started that new mechanic.
No, it was out before Gurren Lagann. I'm not trying
really?
to. Yeah,
Okay.
Hinologic had it. I only know this because I did the set discussion with Jimmy. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so Hinologic had the whole like exceed summon looking thing. So I'm sorry to ruin your lesson, but I do have to fact check you there.
It's all good. I have officially been schooled. But anyways, so
where Jimmy's just screaming like, "Yes!"
What are yours, Shota?
But yeah, so yeah, even like the fusion mechanic in Gurren Lagann that it introduced was. I myself will admit I slept on it was like thinking, yeah, it seems interesting. It's probably like okay, but like yeah, it's just something that it just exists. But then when I actually see it being played in game IRL, seeing it happen with my own eyes, I'm like, bro, this thing is stupidly consistent. Like it is actually it's a very good mechanic, and it's actually I would actually say it's almost even power. It's close to almost power creeping early play itself.
Yeah.
Because you literally are early playing for one stock, and then
Absolutely.
you're basically putting the materials back in your deck, and you're just getting it out, just like nothing.
Making certain that you get the targets and everything is it's great. I love that mechanic. So, and with that, Professor ErenValue, we have to end class for now. We're basically coming up on time here. As far as like closing thoughts, just whatever. As far as I'm ready to see what all gets played in Fall Fest. Absolutely. I'm very, very glad that Gurren Lagann's been getting more positive reviews at this point. I'm curious to see what all like more stuff we actually get. Like one of the big things also, like sure I can look back on a lot of sets because Japan's getting stuff early. I'm actually very curious as to like how Cardcaptor Sakura is going to be played out because that's TCG exclusive. We're not going to get anything other than like, card of the day previews and shit. It's not like where I can go back and just do a whole set review and go, this is what we're expecting, shit like that. So I'm curious as to how that's going to be. Anyway, other thoughts from y'all as far as like finalizing stuff for this podcast? Either
AOT needs a Space Force regiment.
Volume 3 win, but
put the Space Force in. Put the Space Force in the AOT. They need it. They need to fight Titans in space.
We told you Trump walls don't work. Anyway. Anyway. God, now all I can see now is just a Titan with a space helmet flying through space now. The fucking Nyan Cat thing. Anyway. That was weird.
Actually, not gonna lie, even though Fate Apocrypha is not going to be in the Atlanta Fall Fest. Fortunately, though, whatever upcoming other Fall Fest events are coming up afterwards, it'll definitely get a chance to at least show itself and be able to compete in those events.
Very true.
I actually want Fate Apocrypha to be able to do well and at least have some representation to be able to have a chance to make the top cut.
Agreed.
Because I actually want to see the Fate series itself be able to be viable in the meta.
Yeah.
Because Fate has just been kind of just like, I don't know. It's just like in a very weird spot, and being a huge being a huge Fate fan, like kind of
same.
Kind of like growing as a huge Fate fan. But I really enjoy the series a lot, and I would like to see it actually be playable and actually something that's competent within its current meta right now.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Because it's one of those sets that is just it's just I don't know. It seems like it's lacking a couple of things in there that it just needs to be able to keep up.
I agree. So it will be very interesting to see how well that does. So.
Well, speaking of Apocrypha, if I remember right, I think doesn't like Astolfo do something similar to Eren? Well, not like the getting mobility get back part, but I think it like has the ability to it's like climax it's like a climax combo that it like is able to bounce itself back to hand or something like that.
I think you're correct.
If you get a reverse off with it, it has the bounce back to hand like Eren, but it also has a when it gets front attacked, you get to top check. And then if it's a master or servant, you get to add it to your hand as well too.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that now.
So it's very similar to Eren. It's just like it's like 6K though, with the climax before any other assist. So it's like not as strong as Eren.
Yeah,
but it's still like pretty good for its plussing capabilities.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Plus, Astolfo is awesome.
My closing thoughts is that I'll be in the bathroom at the venue for Atlanta, being a typical Gyaru. So if you're white, you'll know which stall I'm in.
Yeah, you'll hear the what sounds like chanting. Because it's gonna sound like Taylor. Anyway, so, God, I just feel so bad even saying that joke. Anyway, but no, for real. Out of all of this in the group, Benley, you're going. Taylor's going supposedly. Enrique's going.
Yes.
Okay, so not as many of us are going this time. Between scheduling issues for me and Frank and everybody, we're not all going to be able to go like we did last year, sadly. But best of luck to y'all going to the Atlanta Regionals. Kick some ass. Try to go to Worlds again, dude.
I'll try.
It's like round 2. But,
yes.
Because you got your invite from Florida, huh? It took me a second to realize what you said. Yeah.
I just said you better get this stromboli.
You better. Yeah. With that, that's Frank's final thoughts for this. You better bring back that stromboli. With that, thank y'all very much for watching. Please subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for listening to us rant for an hour. Or hell, go subscribe to WaifuWars, the awesome content they put up and whatnot. I want to thank both of y'all for being on today. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, Ben Lee, WaifuWars, and Frank ErenValue. See, that sounds like it should be like an actual nickname. I don't know. It's just the way I said it. Anyway. But yes, please check out WaifuWars. Check out Side for Zero. I know he wanted to be on today, but I'll put links in the description for both. And with that, we'll be signing off for now. You'll probably see another podcast in 3 weeks, maybe another month. I don't know. Just whenever we end up posting it. So until then, we are signing off. Peace out for now.
Space Force.